Hi. Is that Logan there?
Wait.
No.
You will be
Tell me when we're on.
Un segundo, un segundo. Listo.
Hello, hi. Hi, Logan, how are you? Great to see you.
Well, how are you?
Last time I saw you, I was in Rwanda. I think I was being threatened with arrest. So it's very nice to meet you in much more peaceful circumstances.
It's good to be here.
Excellent. I want to introduce you to Margot Radding. She works with DKT International based in Washington as well. And I think it was an interesting combination because they sell more male-focused, more like condoms, and also now working with vasectomy. A very active group. And Logan Nickel and his group, their Male Contraceptive Initiative, and is very involved with supporting new forms of family planning. So what's the latest? Catch us up to date on MCI and male contraception in general.
Well, male contraception, has seen steady growth over the past few years, and at MCI, we're trying to really champion the next generation of products. So we are about to announce our next round of funding. We've chosen grant recipients, both at academic and for-profit institutions, and we're excited to show who we're getting our support behind and moving products towards the market. There are products moving towards there that are in the space of inhibiting the production of sperm, inhibiting sperm motility, and things that can have all sorts of different characteristics, like an on-demand contraceptive, or contraceptives that can be injectables, or things that are reminiscent of like an IUD, but for men. And then there's also been advances in the field of vasocclusion. So in 2019, we granted towards 2 different vasocclusive products, which are intended to be a reversible vasectomy. And in fact, one of the ancestral components of one of our grant recipients actually just received a regulatory approval in India. You might have seen headlines for RISA. So they're moving towards the market in India. We're seeing some real movement in the space towards things actually becoming realized. We're moving towards those clinical trials and pieces that I think have seemed so far away for so long.
Great, thank you so much for sharing, Logan. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can you tell us a bit about how you incentivize men to buy these products? I'm not sure if you heard that. There we go. Can you tell us a bit about how men are going to be incentivized to buy these products? At DKT, we use a lot of like sexy models to get people excited about contraception, making safe sex sexy. So if historically the burden of family planning has been on women, because of course they're the ones dealing with the pregnancy, can you just talk about what marketing angle you've used so far?
Yeah, I think making contraception sexy is a great strategy, and I think that's something that we're thinking about how we might leverage that in the future. And then I also think empowering men to take control of their own fertility and to participate with their partners in family planning. Make this an empathetic argument that men are able to take part in this, and it's a couple's issue. And so I think that encouraging men to really take ownership of their own bodies and be conscious of their own reproductive health is important. And that's one way that I think we can engage them in the future, is really to get them to know their own bodies and by proxy their partners, to facilitate this conversation around contraception and why it's important for men to be a piece of this now, whenever we have options such as vasectomy, and in the future whenever that menu is expanded to include things that are have different product characteristics and can meet the needs of multiple men with different lifestyles.
When you talk about these products, and you're mentioning now that they're going, they're moving along, like realistically speaking, when will these things be available for, consumption in the market?
That's a great question. It's something that we really try and address and make sure that there's a managed expectation for these things. So the timeline varies depending on the product. Some of the truly next generation male contraceptives, like a pill you take right before sex, something like that, those could be 15 to 20 years away. There are options that are in clinical trials right now that work via hormonal mechanism, being supported by the US government and others. And those are closer because they're in clinical trials being tested on men. But those are still in the neighborhood of 10, 12, maybe more years away. Things like vaso-occlusive products, though, those could be a little bit closer because they're regulated as medical devices, potentially, instead of drugs. And so those could be looking at a timeline in the single digits, but definitely measured in years. So I think it's important that now we try and think of ways to engage men in family planning now, get them to know their own bodies now, such that when these products are actually available, the stage is set. Men are fluent and able to know what they mean by it. When I say vaso-occlusive, that's something that not a lot of people can pick up on, but they'll be able to really understand those terms and understand their own bodies and know what sort of product would actually speak to them and what they want.
We've been, every year we make sure to include, as best we can, we try to get you guys to be part of our event for that very reason, that we're trying to think next generation. We're very aware that, vasectomy is an excellent option for a certain section of society, but not for everybody, and there's a huge gap between condoms and vasectomy, so that's why we're really excited. I think we should do a better job of working together, because I think part of what you're talking about is what we're really focusing on, and if we do it together, I think we'll hit in 10 years, and that's what we should start right now.
Absolutely. Vasectomy is it's a great option for people who desire that sort of procedure, and other options could fit the needs of men who have different lifestyles and different needs and desires. And ultimately, we're all coming from the same place. We want a slate of options such that anyone can contracept in a way that makes sense for them. And I'm hopeful that we can build that relationship and keep things moving.
That'll be my new word for 2019, to contracept. That's very good. I'm going to put it in my vocabulary. I never heard it before, but now we're going to start using it. Anyhow,
I like it as a verb. It's good.
That's good. I like it. That's good. We start right here. Anyhow, Logan, thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it. We're going to keep talking, I'm sure, and just keep up the good work, and hopefully, it won't affect me anymore. I got a vasectomy, but for the next generation men, this is huge work what you guys are doing. This is great. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.